Hello friends, the topic of my today's talk is product development. If you just see around you, you will find a lot of products, a lot of things. You go back to your memory, or you can say that from the start of the Stone Age till now, a large number of products have been done. What is the basis of that development? The basis is this, that whatever is needed, that is required to be produced. That need, that requirement, that in what way we are going to fulfill our need is the basic thing which leads towards this product development. This is the customer, the most important aspect, is going to tell you that what is required by him, what is to be produced, and based on that you are taking measures to develop a product, to introduce a product. Either you are going to make changes in your existing product, or altogether a new product you are going to provide. So this product development is a very, very important aspect, and that is complex too. Very complex in the sense that a large number of requirements are there, a large number of nuances are there. Different customers are having different thinking. So what you are required to do, you have to take into consideration all such aspects and to develop a product so that their desires are going to be fulfilled. So the need for this product development, you can say, a key aspect of a firm's success. If your firm is not introducing new product, it is not changing the existing product, the success of the firm is going to be low. Like for example, Nokia was there. Nokia mobile phones, sometimes they were very, very prevalent in the market. Everybody was using those, but they didn't change, so they are vanished. So before vanishing, the growth became slow and they were not able to halt the product's slow growth. If you are increasing this introduction of new product, customer base is going to increase. You are able to gather the market. You are able to introduce your product at a faster rate in the market. And more important is this, the reputation of the firm is enhanced. Samsung is there. Samsung is known for introducing more and more products in the market. So when they are producing more product, their reputation is this, that their products are catering to the need of different people. So these needs are going to drive the product development. As I have said, that it is a complex phenomenon. Complex in the sense that when you are introducing something, when you are designing something new, when you are changing the product, so in order to experiment all these things, in order to incorporate the requirement of the customers, you need to invest huge amount of money. Not only money, another resource, time is needed. So a risky process, because you have to use your money and your time judiciously. And moreover, you have introduced the product. There is no guarantee that it is going to be commercially viable or the customers are going to accept it. So your money is going to be wasted. Another thing is that you need a sound process so that the loss in investment in R&D is going to be reduced. Some of the examples you can say, Tata Nano is there. There was huge investment as far as development of that concerned. What happened? Customer didn't like that product, and ultimately they were not, the Tata people were not having any option but to shelve that vehicle. DuPont's Corefam, they introduced a substitute for leather. It didn't work. The money is wasted. So this is a big scenario you have to keep in mind, that the investment which you are going to put in, it is not going to give you all the time the desired results. But you can't escape with this. You cannot escape. You have to introduce the product, and you have to decide that to what extent you can go so that you can produce the market, you can develop the product and you can introduce in the market. The basis for product development should be, first thing, the need of the customer. Second thing is the position of the competitors. And the third thing is the technology to be used or it is available. Fourth is suppliers. Let us discuss the need of the customer. First thing is the customer need. And you know that customers' need are not only identified, but they are anticipated. That is, you have to keep in mind that this is the need and in what way the need is going to behave in the near future. For example, this time, nowadays, you can say that sanitizers and masks, the need is there and people have anticipated this. So a large number of people have modified themselves, their facilities to produce more and more sanitizers because they have anticipated that the demand is going to increase. So the customer is influenced by the economic, social and political environment. Position of the competitor and technology. In this, you have to stay abreast of advances being made in technology and by the competitors. Like you will find that if your product is there in the market, you have to be able to find out that what your competitors are doing. You have to keep yourself abreast of that. Otherwise, you won't be able to stay in the market. Remain aware of the researches conducted in private and public labs. Keep a tab on the researches conducted by competitors. So you are having a holistic picture that what is your position and what is the competitor's position. If you are moving parallel to that or you are ahead of that, then you may survive in the market. Otherwise, you are not going to survive in the market. Many mobile companies have vanished. Not vanished, you can say they have lost huge customer base. Idea is there, Vodafone is there, BSNL is there. So they were not able to compete with their competitors. So they were not able to stay in the market. Suppliers. Suppliers are a strategic resource to be included in the PDP. They are a valued source of input for each stage of product development, and working closely with suppliers may eliminate unnecessary cost. Just for example, you can say in the case of supplier, sometimes the new product is introduced in the market and there is huge competition in the market. So companies sometimes move backward, that is they have to sell the product in X rupees. So this X rupees are going to be constant and the customer is giving the option that so many parts are to be produced. This part you can provide in how much rupee and this should not exceed so much of amount. So supplier is a very, very important chain when you are going to provide something input related to the product development. Product development stages, yes. Product development stage start from the opportunity identification and idea generation. This is the first thing, that opportunity, you identify the opportunity and you generate the idea. First and foremost important thing. Second thing is this, on the basis of that, you develop the concept. Once the concept has been developed, you go for testing of that concept. You design that afterward and a sort of steps related to that is very different engineering aspects are to be considered. And the last one is based on above these four, this prototype development is to be carried out. Let us come to this opportunity identification and idea. As we know that how can we know that what is the opportunity? How can we know that what type of product we have to introduce in the market? This is what for most important thing is the customer, and suppliers and employees too can give you inputs, but opportunity of identification and idea generation is very, very important. Just one example for this. Patanjali, in this coronavirus period, you know that a large number of people have given you different treatment. Some people say that do this, use hot water, use gloves, etc., etc. Patanjali people identified the opportunity in this. Well, this area is there. If you are going to introduce something in this, then what will happen? You can have more market share. So they come out with the idea that come out with some medicine that can boost immunity. So they carried out research and introduced immunity boosters in the market. So they identified opportunity. They introduced this idea. Second example, you can say that earlier when the Bajaj Chetak was there in the market, because of low petrol efficiency or low average, people were switching over towards motorcycles. And a time came when nearly majority of the people has switched over to motorcycles. The demand of the scooters almost finished. Even Bajaj people who were known for these scooters, they also switched towards producing motorcycles. But a very large chunk of people could not go towards the use of these motorcycles, and that large number of chunk included ladies, girls and older people. So Honda people identified this opportunity and come out with the idea that introduce a scooter in the market. They carried out research and introduced in the market, and they got huge response for that product. Huge response. They were having a queue for customers that the product was not available immediately, and people had to wait for several days or several months. Likewise, so you can identify the opportunities and you can generate the idea. This is going to give you a clue for development of the product and introducing that product in the market. These are nuances and many challenges as far as customers are concerned. They don't have firm opinions. Sometimes they have one preference, another time maybe influenced by their friends, by their family or by their locality. Their preference may change. Sometimes they think that this much of this is the requirement for their need, but they are not able to express it properly, and the result is this, that they are not able to get their requirement fulfilled. If the executive who is in touch with the customers, he is asking some awkward questions, then it may be unpleasant for them. They may not give proper answer, and moreover, the person who is asking questions with customers or interacting with the customers, he may be having some bias for that. So again, it is going to be a different perspective altogether as far as this product development is concerned. So too much nuances and too much challenges are there as far as this customers are concerned. So how can you develop the concept of product? Brainstorming is there. People are sitting and discussing different ideas and coming out with a solution. Incentive compatible ideation is there. You are providing incentive to people. They are coming out with idea. Similarly, system approaches, different perspectives are there, and archival analysis. What is till now you have gathered the information. On the basis of that, you are going to develop the concept of your product. Once the concept has been developed, you have to test that. Your company is testing that, and it means that your firm appreciates customer needs. You are giving the message that your firm is better positioned to address the need of the customers, and it provides a rationale to the customer to try the product, and when they have tried the product, the benefits of these products can be highlighted. So on that basis, the concept can be product screening. Was the product you have to screen, it is to be screened by the potential customers. On what basis? Whether it is relevant to the customer, if that product is going to be introduced to the market, what is going to be the purchase interest of the customer, and the discontent which was with the existing product, whether that is going to be cashed in from the new product of this or not. So on that basis, you can further prioritize your ideas so that testing and evaluation of the product can be carried out. You have decided the product, you have come out with the concept. Now you are designing that product. design that means that what material should be there, what strength should it provide, what is going to be the mechanism of that, what is going to be the technology for that. So you are going to decide on the basis of two aspects. One is conjoint analysis, another is the value engineering. As far as conjoint analysis is concerned, that is you are going to determine the level of each feature most acceptable to the customers, because a product is there, different needs of the customers are there. So you have to find out which feature or which aspect is to be given what weightage. So at what level you are going to incorporate that feature into that product. Similarly, you have to decide that out of several features which you are going to introduce in your product, what is the relative importance of each feature? That is, which feature is going to be given more weightage and which feature is going to be given less weightage, and what is the contribution of utility of each feature at various levels. So based on this conjoint analysis is carried out to know the features which are to be incorporated in your product, to what extent they are acceptable to customers. Value engineering is another thing which is to be considered there when you are designing product. Value engineering is not a cost cutting technique. It is providing the product at a low cost. The low cost is to be achieved, but quality, performance and reliability is to be kept constant. It is not going to be hampered with, it is not going to be compromised. Quality should remain the same, performance should remain the same, reliability should be there, but the cost should be reduced. For that it is the analysis, or it is the material, or whatever procedure it is going to be adopted. These things are to be kept in mind so that the cost is going to be reduced, but everything else is going to remain. Design for manufacture and assembly. So designing for manufacturing means you have to suggest ways so that the product you are making is requiring lower manufacturing cost. When the lower manufacturing cost is there, obviously lower prices for the customer, and this is going to give you in turn the better market share. Just for example, if suppose a simple lathe, say simple turning operation is to be carried out by a lathe machine, so that you can use simple lathe machine, you can use a little more advanced lathe machine, or you can have say CNC lathe machine, depending upon the product. If suppose that product is to be utilized in an ordinary application, obviously simple lathe machine will do, so the cost is going to reduce. But if suppose it is going to be some sort of precision type of work or precision type of part is there, then of course you are going for CNC machine. So you have to decide what process you are going to adopt. That is going to lead towards lower prices. Greater volume reduces channel costs. So just like in the case of ICs, more is the volume, less is going to be the cost of that product. And this another aspect is this, that when you are going to design your product, the design should be as simple as possible. People might remember that earlier when it was the Bajaj Chetak, and if suppose the clutch wire is broken in the scooter, then you cannot introduce this new clutch wire again by yourself. You have to go to the mechanic, get it done by itself. So if it could have been designed in such a manner that the person who is using that vehicle, and at the time when it is going to be broken, it can be replaced by the person itself, it could have been a better design for that. So another thing is this, that when you are keeping all these things in mind, when you are considering all these things for designing the product, it means your product design is optimum. It means there is very less scope for improvement in this. So this in turn is going to dissuade your competitors. They are not going to enter in the market. They will say that they cannot come with a product which is having less cost than this, so competition is going to be less for that product. So you have developed the prototype, you test the prototype. The prototype is going to be tested by potential customers. The potential customers are coming out with their feedback, that is what else is required to be carried out. After that testing, you are going to incorporate those changes, and that product is going to be finalized to be there in the market. So in this way you can introduce in the market, and you can carry out with your business as usual. In net result is this, that you have to make it regular, that new product is to be introduced in the market with a good frequency. The cost should be low. You have to keep abreast yourself with the customer needs. You have to keep in mind that the technology which is going to be there, you should be aware of that, so that technology, if you are going to incorporate, your product is going to your product can be modified and give the desired results. In this way you can have your customer base intact. You can be having a good perception as far as your company is concerned, and you can survive in the market easily. Thank you.